I don't often show myself dressed up like a spaceman, but I've just finished spraying the nursery. We have to spray for unwanted weeds that are in the footpaths and on the verges. So Muggins, have to do the job when everyone has gone away. So after spraying, it's now about 7:30 in the evening. The evenings are long and the birds are singing. And just before I do another little episode of the spring walk, I thought I'd show you in my garb. So there you go. You can see what I look like when I'm not dressed in my Hawaiian shirt. At the end of April, that is when there is a lot of color on the nursery. So I'm going to take you for a walk just to show you all the different shades of greens and the colors of the red maples and the flowering trees that are around. My magnolia has finished flowering, and unfortunately the frost did get it and turned it brown, but such is life. You can't have it all your way. I've never known a year when the magnolia isn't spared by the frost, but it always gets caught by the frost, and while it is in bloom, I like to enjoy it. But what I've come to the front of my house for really is to show you this deshojo. I did promise you last year to do a series of stills to show you the progress of this deshojo. It is today the 21st of April, and usually in the third week in April, the leaves of all the maples are just about to come out. So this deshojo was one that I purchased in 1990 when I went to Kyushu Island in Japan, and in a village called Yamagata, which is very near the center of Kyushu. There is this village that sells a lot of pines and maples and Satsuki azaleas, and they're also very famous for their apricot, flowering apricot. But this particular deshojo was purchased from there, so it's been in the ground for now 33 years. It was only 1 inch thick when I bought it, but now the diameter is about 8 to 12 inches thick, and it's in front of my house. So this is the view of my house. The bush in the front, that is called Exocorda. So let me just come a bit nearer. It is almost like cherry blossom, but it's a weeping bush, and when it's in flower, it's really beautiful. And that variety is called Exocorda the Bride. I suppose it reminds people of these bridal bouquets that are used in weddings for beautiful brides. So this is it. And I also want to show you something else. I haven't mowed my grass this year because in among the grass are these beautiful, we call them dogtooth violet. It's a beautiful violet that grows in the grass. Look at it. I haven't the heart to cut it down, so probably I'm not going to cut the grass. I may just sow poppies and other wildflowers to complement these beautiful violets. Incidentally, they make beautiful accent plants. Beautiful, beautiful accent plants. These plants came from Japan originally with the bonsai, but I sowed some seeds and scattered them around. So I have these beautiful flowers to enjoy. They have become almost like a weed. But there you go. That is nature behaving itself. And let's have another look at that beautiful, beautiful deshojo. And that is my house. The planes are flying overhead. And this is my new office or shed. And a big pine which is 8 foot tall. Now let's go back into the nursery and show you some of the color. It's about sunset, and as the sun goes down, the birds start singing. For those of you who have never seen the nursery, we did a lot of improvements to the nursery. So that's our new car park. And coming back to the nursery, all the maples are in leaf. That's the famous chicken plucker maple. which is 1.2 meter tall. And it's been out in the open throughout the winter, no protection, and it's in the pink of health. Crab apples just started flowering this week, and the blossom is really beautiful. Flowering trees bloom for say 2 weeks in the year. But with the crab apple, the beauty of the crab apple is that they also have the fruit. So although they only bloom for about 2 weeks, the rest of the year you have the little fruit to admire. And towards the autumn, the fruit turn red, and it's a truly wonderful sight. I'm going to just show you some of these Deishojos. For those of you who are not familiar with the Deishojo, it's one of those maples that is called the spring maple because it's admired mainly for the spring color, which is this vibrant red, beautiful vibrant red, almost like a lipstick red. And customers who buy it, they always ring me up and say, oh, after 2 months the color changed to green. I thought you sold me a red tree. But what they don't appreciate that all maples turn color, and the Deishojo is no different. They will stay red for 2 months, 3 months at the most, and they turn a dark, dusky red. And after that, the color turns green in the summer, in the height of summer. And the autumn color is not very spectacular. In fact, the autumn color is a bit disappointing because it is an orangey red color, not a bright scarlet red. This is one of the crab apples. I used to display this at Wisley, but I brought it back because I wanted to develop it a little more. But there are other trees in place at Wisley. There's another massive Deishojo this is a 75-liter pot, and I'm going to turn this into a bonsai. This is one of the projects. I'm going to airless this tree in about 7 or 8 places because it's too valuable a tree just to prune and hack back hard. So I'm going to air layer with Josh's help. That's another Deishojo in the ground. I grow them in the ground to get big, and that is just blood good. And that's a crab apple seedling, believe it or not, which is about 15 foot tall. It was just a stray seed that I allowed to grow, and look at it now. Let me walk you into the nursery because there's a lot of color there. These primulas, by the way, are self-seeded. Larches are very beautiful at this time of the year. Look at it, that beautiful apple green color. We have 2 shade tunnels which are completely filled with Deishojo maples. Let me show you some other ones. Now this is Benichidori. Benichidori is a soft pink, but it only stays this color for again like 1 month, and then after that it turns an orangey color and also turns a very pale green. I better not disappear from this tunnel because there are 2 major Deishojos. This is a Deishojo which is about 1 meter tall, and I used to show this at Chelsea a lot. Look at that tree. That pot is about 70 centimeter long. There's another one in a basket because I was developing it in sphagnum moss to rejuvenate it. Now that it has rejuvenated, I'm going to put it back in its bonsai pot. And already many people want to buy this tree, but I'm not willing to sell it just yet. The Satsukis have yet to bloom. When they are in bloom, I will show you another video just dedicated to Satsuki. So this again is Benichidori, which is a soft pink compared to the bright red of Deishojo. So there is a distinct difference in color. That's another Benichidori, just about coming into leaf. These are my horse chestnut or conker trees. Look at that, they're really old trees. I guess they're about 40 years old. And here is the main tunnel where most of the maples are. This is the stock of maples. Deishojos, by the way, we import from Japan because the clones of the Japanese trees are very unique. Even the Deishojos produced in China and Korea are not the same. The colors of the Japanese clones is quite distinct. We have so many other types of Japanese maple. This is a Japonicum, by the way, Itaya Migata. I think it's like a full moon maple. Now these are not yet in leaf, so you see there is a difference in the timing of the emergence of leaves. And that's the beauty of the maples. These again are beautiful triple trunk maples. Triple trunk. How beautiful is that? And these, if you want to know, are clump style. Look at the clump. In that clump there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9 trees in that clump. They all have like 9 trees in this clump. They're not cheap because they're very hard to make. Some of my other specimen mountain maples, trident maple, another big Deishojo there, which is like a twin trunk, Kabudachi mountain maple. This is that big beast that I've been training since 1993 and in no rush to sell. This big trident, which is a frogleaf trident, this was purchased from Terikuchi Kato's nursery back in 1993, but Mr. Terikuchi Kato has since passed away. But I have this tree and I have someone who wants to buy this tree. Although I don't want to part with it, well, if someone wants the tree and if you run a nursery, that's life. You have to sell it. That's another Benichidori. These Benichidoris were trained in an S shape, and again they were purchased in Japan back in 1993, and I've made a lot of air layerings from it. So this is another area. Now these little tree clumps is a mixture of mountain maple and Deishojo. Really beautiful. And as if that is not enough, let me show you even more. Maples everywhere. We have to keep constantly adding to the collection because many of these trees take years and years to develop. So we don't sell them all in one go. As they mature, we improve it, and this is what we do all the time. As I always remind people, bonsai is not a 7-day wonder. Certainly not like growing chrysanthemums or growing carnations or geraniums. You make a cutting, you can sell it in 6 months. With bonsai, you sometimes have to wait 30 or 40 years before the tree begins to look presentable. These are the junipers that we develop ourselves from young plants. These are Itoigawas from Japan. But again, these Itoigawas, we probably do air layerings from them. Look at these beautiful trunks. We air layer the tips and then we style the trunks with short branches. So another tedious task. So by now you should be familiar. This is Benichidori and that is Deishojo, side by side. This is Katsura. Anything which is not named bronzy color in the spring, we call mountain maple. These are, I think, Yukon, lime green maple. There again, another Benichidori. The trouble is when they turn green, you can't tell the difference between one or the other. So I need to meticulously label them. Otherwise I will not be able to distinguish which is which. Another beautiful Deshojo. These are our Deshojos made from air layerings from past years. So we do produce some of them ourselves. So with air layerings, the Nebari is much better because they don't have thick roots. That is a grafted tree. The understock is very strong, but the roots are not as elegant as this when you do air layering. These were air layered exactly a year ago. 20th of April 22 we started making the air layerings. These all have 2 to 3 inch diameter trunks, and by June we were able to separate it. By September we put them into bonsai pots, and they're still planted in sphagnum moss. So these are all our own production. Another beautiful Deshojo specimen. This is a Korean hornbeam. That's Japanese specimen. And before I go away, that's a big beast of a tree. Chinese quince with an S-shaped trunk. How beautiful is the bark? Look at that bark. Like a lace wing pattern. This is a delightful hinoki planting, also a Japanese import, on Ibigawa Rock. There are 7 trees in this planting, really delicately made. What I've shown you is only a few of the tunnels. I haven't been into the quarantine house. There's no point showing you that because that's only got the pines and junipers, which are just green. Let me show you what's happening to the pines, because in spring, this is what you get, all these lovely fresh young candles. I will do another video just to show you what we do with these candles, because many people don't know how to deal with candles when they appear. Now this is our greenhouse. It's a bit dark because it's late in the evening now, and we've been busy doing all sorts of work, repotting, restyling, remaking. Let me just walk through this workshop area. We call it the workshop because this is where we create our bonsai. I have another magnolia there. I don't know the variety or the name of this one. It is pure white. Pure white. It's like a Solangiana, but absolutely pure white. I will just walk closer to that to show you. All these lovely maple leaves. That is Yukon, distinctive color. Anything bronze is a mountain maple. And this is that huge magnolia tree. That was planted when we built the pond in 1990. I planted it. They were all 1-inch diameter trunk trees, and they now have 18-inch to 2-foot diameter trunk. As you can see, it is like a Solangiana, but I don't think it's the normal Solangiana which has got a purple tinge to it. These flowers are just pure white. Listen to the birds sing. These holes in the lawn, by the way, are molehills. The moles are very active in our garden, but I haven't got the heart to set traps to kill them. So although they make the lawn look unsightly, I let them live. The cherry blossom, some of them have finished, but I'll take you to another big cherry tree that I have, and that one is called Taihaku. And that is a creamy colored greenish tinge cherry tree. I will show it to you in a minute. These are the big pines. I didn't prune the pine last year, so it's become a bit unkempt. So this will be the second year that I will be pruning. I normally prune it every year, but this has been left 2 years, so it's high time it was done. So this is going to be quite an exercise. And again, look at all these strong, beautiful candles showing. Even the candles are beautiful to look at. Now look at that one. That one has got a bunch of, I think, 6 separate candles in there. And the candles, believe it or not, can grow 8 to 10 inches long before they open up into the needles. We've had a lot of rain in the last week, so the pond has filled up again. And this is our maple grove, where we have Arakawa maple, Katsura mountain maple, and Deishojo. We have 2 rough bark Arakawas, 3 mountain maples, 1 Katsura, and 5 Deishojo trees. So let me walk into there and show you what this maple grove looks like. I've shown it in the past, but while I'm passing, look at the flowers on these maple trees. Can you imagine if they all set seed? There will be millions of seeds, millions of seeds. Absolutely brilliant. I love this grove when the trees are not in full leaf, because when they become completely open, the leaves cause such a lot of dark shadow that you can't see anything in here. They're all struggling for light, so they grow tall and straight. In another few days, it'll come a little more dense and the color will be more intense. I might show it to you again. It's delicate nevertheless. Look at it, how delicate it is. 21 minutes, and I hope you're not getting bored. And this is the Arakawa or rough bark. Look at the texture of the bark, covered in moss. Now this is the great big tree, Taihaku. I don't know what Taihaku means in Japan, in Japanese, but Thai I know is big, and it's double flower. It's got a slightly creamy color tinged with a shade of pink, delicate shade of pink. I'm glad I planted this tree 33 years ago. It's a really beautiful specimen. Even the word exquisite doesn't do justice to this tree. Absolutely exquisite. I leave the branches to hang low down. I know it comes in the way of people when they walk through it, but at this time of the year, there isn't a prettier sight. And I think on that note, I'm going to end this little walk. It's already 24 minutes, and I hope you've been able to share with me in the enjoyment of nature. It is so beautiful, better than all the troubles in the world. So we have something to be grateful for. So stay blessed, and I hope to see you again soon. Look at the deer we have in our garden. 7 o'clock in the morning, the deer are coming into my garden to eat the roses.